Hello everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic, and it's time once again to find out what happened at a wonderful PLE, this time WWE Bash in Berlin 2024. Let's go. The first match of the night is for the the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes defending against his friend, Kevin Owens. Owens is very fired up during his entrance. Ooh, what's he gonna do to Cody? There's grappling to begin, and Owens wins the first shoulder block exchange. Ooh, Cody goes for an early Cody cutter, which is avoided by Kevin, and they stare at each other. The crossroads is avoided, but so is a stunner, and now they go forehead to forehead. Things are getting tense. Cody goes for a dive to the outside, which Owens catches and then hits a cannonball off the apron. A little bit later on, Cody does connect with the dive, though, and takes control of the match for a while, locking in a figure four. Owens, though, eventually makes the ropes. Owens gets things back outside of the ring and hits a frog splash off the apron to the floor. But back in the ring, Cody nails the disaster kick, but it only gets two. He hits the Cody cutter shortly afterwards as well. And again, that only gets two. They have a strike exchange, and Owens hits that kind of Michinoku driver, but like over his knee. That gets two. Then he heads up and hits like an avalanche rolling senton. Again, it only gets two, but shouts out to the Green Bay plunge. Kennedy. Cody avoids another stunner attempt and hits the crossroads, but it only gets two, and Cody cannot believe that Kevin kicked out. It's only the first crossroads, Cody, come on. Owens reverses a superplex attempt into a big old middle rope, kind of Michinoku, kind of fisherman suplex, kind of avalanche thing, but Cody kicks out again. They both rise to their feet and slap each other, and then have a hockey fight, laying in the right hands. Then they trade super kicks until Cody gets his drop-down uppercut. He now goes for the jumping Cody cutter in the corner, but jumps down because his knee is hurt. We heard about this last night on SmackDown, didn't we? Kevin thinks about taking advantage of the knee, and he can't bring himself to do it. They brawl outside the ring, and Owens is angry at Cody, who says, "I'm fine." So Owens kicks the knee out, fair enough. He goes for the apron powerbomb, and again, he can't bring himself to do it. Wade Barrett screams on commentary, "Where is the killer instinct of Kevin Owens?" And Owens turns around and goes, "Shut up, you idiot." He rolls Cody back in the ring and hits the stunner, but it only gets two. Kevin says, "You asked for this, Cody," and he swings at the champion, who catches him with a crossroads and a second one. He pulls him up for the third, and Owens reverses it and hits a stunner. 1, 2. Cody kicks out. Kevin goes up for the swanton. It gets knees, though, from Cody, who hits a final crossroads and retains the title. Cody is very sporting after the bell. He's the babyface champion, of course, and he hugs Kevin, who doesn't look happy, it has to be said, but he doesn't do anything nasty. He raises Cody's hand very graciously, even though he is devastated. Next up, we have the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn defending against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. The challengers win the opening brawl and are dominant early on, isolating Isla Dawn. Bianca's, hitting her delayed vertical suplex. She's skipping around the ring, but Alba tries to gain control back by grabbing the braid, but Bianca backflips athletically out of the corner. However, Isla Dawn gets involved as well, and Bianca ends up getting thrown into the ring post all the way to the outside of the ring. Alba hits a dive to follow this up, and the champions beat Bianca down on the outside. Jade Cargill tries to come around the ring to help, but the referee blocks her off. Classic double standards, referee! Bianca becomes the face in peril for a while. She tries to make the tag, but the heels grab her hair again and beat her down in the corner. Again, she nearly gets the tag to Jade, but Alba Fire hits a tornado DDT, simultaneously kicking Jade off the apron. Very nice. Bianca finally gets the tag, and Jade runs wild on both opponents. She hits a jackhammer to Isla Dawn, but the Scot kicks out at 2. Bianca gets back in, but the champions double team her and hit their big finisher, but Jade Cargill is on hand to just break up the pinfall attempt in time. Now Alba gets isolated, and Jade slams Bianca onto her, but again it only gets 2. One champion saves the other from the KOD, and they set Belair up for a top rope maneuver, but Jade's in to pull Bianca out of the way in time. I think it might have been a little bit late, but the camera angle kind of disguised that. It worked. Look, it worked. The point is that Jade saved Bianca. Isla nearly gets a sneaky roll-up on Bianca, but she kicks out and tags in Jade Cargill, and they hit their double-team finisher, like the lung blower into the wheelbarrow suplex kind of thing. And the babyfaces make the cover. Well, Jade does. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, Jade and Bianca are tag team champions once again. Next up, the big rematch, the strap match, Four Corners rules between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Drew attacks Punk as he enters the ring and beats him down, throwing him into the announce table and punching him in his face and just being so nasty to our hero, Philip. The strap gets attached by the referee, and Drew is obviously well in control at the start of the bout, whipping Punk like a damn government mule, damn it. Drew touches one corner very cockily and slowly, then decides to taunt Punk, who comes alive and hits the go to sleep. Punk goes to touch a corner now, but stops, because he wants to whip Drew with the strap as well. Which he does for a while, but Drew regains control on the outside of the ring and tries to future shock DDT Punk on the announce table, but Punk backdrops him on it instead. Punk gets out a table, but Drew attacks him with a chair from ringside. He even busts Punk open with a headbutt and sets up the chair in the corner of the ring, but Punk manages to hit the knee in the corner, so Drew doesn't get to use the chair. Punk sets up the table next to the ring, but as he gets back in the ring, Drew hits the Claymore. He touches 3 of the corners, but then Punk drags him via the strap into that chair set up in the corner from before. Storytelling. Punk now touches 3 corners, but Drew stops him before the 4th, scoops him up, and just throws him through the table on the outside. Once Punk is back in the ring, Drew carries him between the corners to touch them, but Punk is sneakily touching the corners as well as Drew turns around. Then they both fight over the 4th one, and neither of them can get the win yet. Drew tries another Claymore, but Punk boots him in the face and applies the sharpshooter, and Drew taps out, but of course, it doesn't matter. Instead, Punk's strategy is to weaken Drew, who kind of passes out from the pain, and then Punk touches 2 of the corners, but Drew wakes up and pulls Punk into a neck breaker. Both men are down, but Drew kips up to his feet and pulls out the bracelet from his trunks. He puts it on his wrist, he kisses the bracelet and prepares another Claymore, and he hits it. Punk is done for. Drew touches 3 corners, but Punk pulls him into the go-to-sleep and collapses as well. Both men are down. They both slowly rise, and Punk hits another go-to-sleep. He then touches 2 of the corners, and Drew crawls in the way, so Punk hits another go-to-sleep and touches the 3rd corner, and then he pauses and looks at Drew and hits another go-to-sleep, retrieves the bracelet, puts it on his own wrist, and slaps that 4th turnbuckle to win the match. The next match is the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, taking on Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Mixed tag rules, of course, so Dom and Priest start things off, and Dom angers Priest, who big boots him down and beats him up in the corner. Priest goes to tag in Rhea, but Dom runs away and tags in Liv first, who gets destroyed by Rhea Ripley, quite predictably. Rhea taunts Dom with the Eddie Guerrero shimmy and a big suplex on Liv. Rhea then wants a piece of Dom when he tags in, but the referee makes her go back to the apron, so Priest takes Dom to the outside and continues the beatdown there. Very dominant from the faces early on until Liv grabs Priest's leg, which allows Dom to knock him off the apron and shove him into the ring steps. Liv then gets a couple of cheap shots on Priest a little bit later on, while Dom distracts the ref both times. Dom then unwisely goes for the Three Amigos himself, which is immediately reversed into a Falcon Arrow from Damian. Rhea gets the tag and takes it to Liv Morgan once again. She then realizes that Dom is still recovering in the ring as well, and she wants to beat up her ex-boyfriend. Dom goes for a hug to distract Rhea from a Liv attack, but then Rhea sees it coming and elbows Liv away and hits a few lariats followed by a suplex and a head scissors in the corner on Dominik Mysterio. The crowd are loving the fact that Dom is getting his comeuppance. She sets up for the Riptide, but Liv saves the day and hits a backstabber on Rhea, taking control once again. However, Rhea fights back and tags in Priest, who gets a near fall on Dom, but Liv breaks it up just in time. Both of the faces hit stereo razors edges on the heels, and Rhea throws Liv out of the ring. Priest sets up Dom for South of Heaven, but JD McDonough and Carlito are here to interfere. Those dirty Judgment Day fools. Sorry, I got a little bit flustered there. They get fought off by the faces, but it gives Liv the chance to hit a sunset bomb off the ring steps onto Rhea, sending her into the barricade. Back in the ring, Finn Balor is here with a sling blade to Damian Priest with the referee distracted. Dom then hits the 619 and the frog splash, but Priest kicks out. Liv dives on Rhea and throws her back into the ring looking for Oblivion, but Rhea counters with a nice backbreaker. JD gets on the apron for another distraction, and Liv retakes control of the match, but Priest saves the day this time, taking out the Judgment Day on the outside. He wants to chokeslam Finn Balor through the announce table, but Dom saves his pal. Dom and Priest get up on the announce tables instead, and Dom gets lariated on top of the announce table. Nice sort of Rikishi-style twisting bump from Dom on this move. Very well done indeed. This has isolated Liv Morgan back in the ring with Rhea Ripley, who headbutts her and hits the Riptide. 1, 2, 3. The babyfaces win, and you could argue that Rhea deserves another title shot, having pinned the champion. And finally, the main event of the night. Gunther defending the World Heavyweight title against Randy Orton. Ludwig Kaiser interrupts the ring announcements to announce Gunther himself, and obviously the Berlin crowd are buzzing for the champion. But it's worth mentioning they love Randy as well. We get a tentative start with lots of grappling and staring and stuff. Randy fights out of a chin lock while the crowd do a Mexican wave, and Randy looks kind of amused but entertained by their enthusiasm. He looks a bit bewildered though. He's not in Kansas anymore, or Missouri. Gunther takes Randy down and uses his legs to hit like a Zack Sabre Jr.-esque neck crank of sorts with his feet. You know what I mean, like the twisting neck thing. Gunther stays in control and lays in a chop, and Orton has to roll outside, where his opponent uses the ring post to assist like a neck crank or something. It looks nasty anyway. However, Randy ends up whipping Gunther into the ring steps, and a second time as well, really focusing on the right arm, which becomes a key point in this match. Orton gets the big suplexes on the announce table, 3 of them in fact, and is now back in control of the match well and truly, with Gunther's shoulder and right arm very hurt. Back in the ring, Gunther counters an RKO into a sleeper, but Orton breaks free by attacking this weakened arm. Orton continues to work the arm, and Gunther tries to fight back, but he can't properly connect with big chops or clotheslines or anything, so Orton manages to get a quick power slam, but it only gets 2. Randy wants the draping DDT, but Gunther fights him off. They head up top. Randy gets a big superplex, and they both slowly rise to their feet for a strike exchange, with Gunther still favoring that right arm. Randy then hits a thumb to the eye, the sneaky viper, and he smirks as the crowd boo him. Orton now does get the draping DDT and sets up for an RKO, but Gunther counters with a German suplex and a shotgun dropkick. He heads up top, big splash, 1-2, Randy survives. Gunther goes for the powerbomb, but his arm gives out, so he hits a big left-handed lariat instead. He then keeps trying and failing to hit the powerbomb, and finally gets it, but Randy kicks out in time. Gunther goes for another powerbomb, but Randy blocks it and hits the RKO, but this only gets 2 as well. Orton prepares the German announce table and sets up the ring steps next to it, but he takes a very long time and Gunther cuts him off, only to be back suplexed onto the steel steps. Orton then stacks the other half of the steps on top of the bottom steps as well. He's remade the ring steps next to the announce table, and he stands on top of them and suplexes Gunther through the German announce table. Once they're back in the ring, Orton goes for another RKO, but it's blocked, and Gunther clamps on a sleeper. Randy tries to roll out, but Gunther rolls with him and keeps the hold applied. Randy peels the hands away and very slowly tries to set up for an RKO, but Gunther chops him hard in the back of the neck and reapplies the sleeper hold. Orton this time stands Gunther up on his back in like a piggyback position and slams himself backwards to free himself from the hold. Gunther's down and out on the canvas, but then suddenly sits up and reapplies the sleeper. Orton fades slowly and gradually and eventually passes out, and that's it. Gunther is still the World Heavyweight Champion. After both men have recovered, they shake hands left-handed because Gunther's hurt his right arm, remember? And that's it. The show goes off the air with Gunther getting the big, not hometown, but home area of the world victory. And there you have it. That is what happened at WWE Bash in Berlin 2024. Let me know what you thought of any of the matches in that comment section down below, or of the show overall. A big thank you to Joel on the edit for this video, and a big thank you to you at home for watching along as well. Thanks once again. I've been Jack from Cultaholic, and this was what happened at Bash in Berlin. I've said that bit already. What else do I... Oh, and I'll see you soon. Bit shaky at the end, but we got there.